For more insight into President Donald Trump's latest remarks that the deal with Iran is over, we are joined by geopolitical analyst K Elyader, live from Isfahan, Iran. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Elyader. So, President Trump has suggested the United States could launch another round of strikes against Iran. So, how seriously is this being viewed in Tehran?
Donald Trump as a maniacal man, a man that lies, contradicts himself, makes threats. Sometimes those threats are bluffs, sometimes not. But Iranians are obviously prepared. You saw the retaliation that the IRGC had the last couple of days, today especially, hitting 85 targets in retaliation to the American strikes. Therefore, obviously, they understand that America is a morally bankrupt nation that does not adhere to its signature, violates its commitments or the agreement. Therefore, it does not honor their signature. And moving forward, I think Iran will be prepared to assert their dominance once again, to achieve military success once again. Therefore, I would say that Iran is prepared for any retaliation and any acts of aggression put forward or any threats made from Trump or his regime.
So meanwhile, funeral preparations for Iran's late supreme leader are underway. So what is the atmosphere like inside Iran at the moment? And what message is the leadership seeking to send through these ceremonies?
Well, I think these ceremonies were very much voluntary initially, and I don't think the leadership or the Islamic Republic really requested for the people to come out and show their respects and commemorate the late Ali Khamenei, rahmatullah alayh. They came out voluntarily with their hearts, with their spirit of perseverance and resistance. They held their flags up high. And foreign media was there to witness it. The whole world witnessed the massive million-man turnout crowds in Iran, in various cities in Iran. Also, in a neighboring country where Iran had an 8-year war with Iraq, you're showing huge signs of respect and support for the Islamic Republic, for the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei in Iraq. This is despite them having had conflicts with Iraq. So therefore, the path of the Iranian revolution, the path of Iran, is a just path that many human waves in the region, including Iraq, including Lebanon, including Yemen, including some of the GCC states and their main populations like Bahrain, they support Iran and its path of resistance. And they've seen that a war of injustice, a criminal war was inflicted on Iran, and their supreme leader was killed in a cowardly act. And what the Iranian Islamic Republic can show and what they can use from these processions is they can act legitimately with the mandate of their people, with the mandate of the population in Iran and in the region to move forward in their just cause and continue not to submit or capitulate to the irrational American demands and respect their own territorial sovereignty and the territorial sovereignty and integrity of all the freedom-seeking nations in the region, meaning Lebanon as well, Yemen as well.
So President Trump says the deal with Iran is over. So from your assessment, is there still any room, do you think, for any diplomacy?
There has to be room for diplomacy because, again, I've mentioned this various times in the past, the global economy is not something we can joke around with. And President Trump, if he wants to continue in this path, will be remembered as the next President Hoover, the president that brought the global economy and the global economy to the abyss, that caused global economic Armageddon. And he is to blame because he took the world into this conflict, disrupted strategic oil reserves of the world, He's causing economic catastrophe even for his own country. But I think statements from President Trump, a president who I think today or yesterday called Iran the Islamic Republic of Japan. So I don't know if he's mentally there anymore. His rhetoric, as I said, is contradictory. He comes out with many lies. I think any analyst, any reporter, any commentator should not really dignify President or analyze President Trump's statements in detail. He was at the NATO summit insulting Spain the same way he was insulting Iran, talking about taking over Greenland. There should be a generic answer to what President Trump says. We know his lies, we know his miscalculations, we know his tantrums, we know his irrationality. We know that his foreign policy is hijacked by Israel. The whole world knows it. He doesn't even care about his own people. He was asked if he cares about the inflation that could be caused from this conflict in the United States, and he said he doesn't care. Ex-Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene had a recent tweet, which I advise your viewers to perhaps look at, where she is satirically, in a comedic way, making fun of the Trump administration, saying that he was supposed to be the president of war. He was supposed to have annihilated the Iranian Navy and military, but we saw Iran acts out when ships violate the Iranian passage through the Strait of Hormuz, and they assert their dominance, they assert their power, and obviously she pointed out President Trump's lies. I don't think the President Trump gives a damn about his own people. He cares about his donor class, about his special interests, about insider trading that also Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene alluded to. Therefore, Iran is prepared to win once again, retaliate effectively, assert control. Many Iranians, the same people who came out the streets with red flags, embrace maybe a path of retaliation and conflict, because Iranians saw that Iran achieved more tangible, substantial gains on the conflict front rather than on the diplomatic front, because with regards to diplomacy, America continues to violate diplomacy, violate ceasefires like their rogue nation partner, Israel. Therefore, if diplomacy is to have a chance, it serves American interests better, because Iranians are more prepared, more ready, both economically, strategically, to take the path of conflict forward. But the path of diplomacy is, I think, the path that the Americans would be smart to and wise to pursue, because again, they will isolate themselves in the eyes of the world, because they will be the responsible party for destroying the global economy. And again, Mr. Trump will not be receiving a Nobel Prize for Peace for these achievements. He'll be receiving a Nobel Prize for failure. This Operation Epic Failure, I would call it, rather than Epic Fury, came out in terms of strategic defeat for America. It was shown, Iran showed that it strategically defeated the so-called empire, or the biggest empire in the world, or the strongest military power of the world, two nuclear nations with 1/100th of their budget. Therefore, if he wants to miscalculate again, if America wants to pursue the path of war again, I think they are the ones to lose again strategically.